Seems like we're still on the topic of sport games. Only this time is about the sport where is allowed to punch and kick.
Oh, he goes down for a powerful haymaker and lands flush!
Fighting games are one of the main genres in video games, along with platformers and shooters. Jumping over turtles or robots is too childish. Shooting the bad guys is cool, but not very challenging. But beating the crap out of a virtual character in hand-to-hand combat is always satisfying. Boxers, martial artists, wrestlers, ninjas, knights, animals, robots, gods, you name it. The feeling of power by controlling a strong character can only happen with the magic of fighting games. Beat-em-ups technically also count as fighting games, but this month we'll be focused on the ones that are not side-scrolling. So without further ado, here comes a new challenger! I'm the Big Bro, and these are my top 5 favorite fighting games. Primal Rage. Finally, I can talk about one of my longtime favorite games. You're probably used to seeing humans fighting in a 2D arcade by now. But I bet you haven't seen a fighting game about ancient dinosaurs and gorillas. The game takes place on a post-apocalyptic version of Earth where a great meteor strikes the planet and launches the cataclysm. This caused a huge mess on the Earth with earthquakes, tsunamis, eruptic volcanoes, and the awakening of 7 ancient monster gods. And only one can survive to conquer the new Earth.
The cataclysm awakes the sleeping giants from ancient worlds. Crashing through the barriers of time, they invade our world to conquer, to rule the whole human race.
I find it funny that during the title demo, the game claims that no animals were harmed during development. As if real dinosaurs came back from extinction just to cast in an arcade game with hyper-acrobatic apes. You start by choosing one of 7 characters. 5 of them are dinosaurs. The other 2 are gorillas. I always choose the dinosaur Sauron because he's my favorite. At first it looks like your typical 2D fighting game, but in reality it's not like what we are used to. Like the controls, for example. You have to hold down certain buttons while moving the control stick to do a special move, not the other way around like Street Fighter. You can even perform fatalities, which they actually look more gruesome than Mortal Kombat. After facing off all characters in arcade mode, you get to play a mini-game where you must devour the little human worshippers to regain bonus health before the final battle. And the final battle is an endurance round. Yeah, that's kinda anticlimactic. However, there was going to be a sequel of this game where you can play as human avatars of the monsters and face off Necrosan, a giant walking dragon corpse, as the final boss. But unfortunately, the game was cancelled after the dev team, Atari Games, was acquired by Midway. The only way to play it is through emulation. It really sucks when a company's decision ruins a sequel. I'm talking to you, Microsoft! While the controls are a bit complex, the roster is short, and the final battle is not very epic. Primal Rage is still a nice change of pace from the traditional 2D fighting games after all these years. It was designed to allow players to unleash their bloodthirsty fantasies. So if you're having a bad day or someone you really hate in your life, just picture it in this game.
Mom, can I play Shrek Super Slam?
We have Shrek Super Slam at home.
Soul Calibur 6.
Or as I like to call it, Cosplay Fighters Part 6. It's the 6th main chapter of the fighting game with characters with diverse swords.
Warriors cross swords beneath the gaze of the ancient gods. Battle 1. Fight!
This game is filled with a decent variety of characters to choose from, both returning veterans and newcomers. As for the guest stars, we have 3 characters from different franchises. Geralt from The Witcher 3, 2B from Nier Automata, and Haomaru from Samurai Showdown.
I was wondering when you'd finally get here.
The gameplay has quite a few improvements from the last game. Most of the characters have an extended arsenal of combos and don't have complicated input commands. On top of it, there's a new rock-paper-scissors mechanic called Reversal Edge. The players have to press one of 4 buttons to counter each other. Kinda like DBZ Budokai 3, but much faster and efficient. Vertical beats horizontal, horizontal beats kick, and kick beats vertical. But if you don't want to risk it, just press the guard button. This game has technically 2 story modes. One for the characters of Soul Calibur and one for your original character. The first story mode is focused on Killick and his friends, but it also includes story chapters for the rest of the characters. I won't lie to you, I think the story mode is pretty boring. The 2D illustrations last longer than the actual fights, but I guess it's okay for those who just want to know about the lore.
Let me guess. Sorcerer.
In the second mode, you have to create an original character and complete numerous mission tasks, kinda similar to Weapon Master mode in Soul Calibur 2.
This should be a good fight.
And just like in story mode, the conversations are much longer than the fights. Is Bandai Namco taking lessons from Kojima now? The gameplay is above average, but the story mode is slow and boring. But that's not what Soul Calibur 6 is popular for. It's popular for the character creation. I literally can't think of another video game with a ton of options and tools with which you can customize your character. Choose a race, change the body shape, give it a voice, give it a weapon, give it clothing, give it add-ons, change the colors, give it stamps, give it makeup, take a picture shot. The possibilities are nearly endless. Let me show you a few of my creations real quick.
You won't let me pass, huh?
You won't get any pity from me.
You wish to fight me?
You look like a real pain in the ass. I am beautiful.
Your time has come.
Hey, Gloomy, can I kill this one? That weapon, a bird of passage?
In conclusion, Soul Calibur 6 is okay as a fighting game. But if you're one of those people who likes to spend more time on the character creation than the game itself, then it's absolutely worth it.
I live so as not to lose. Pursuer or not, this is where you meet your end.
Mom, can I play Shrek Super Slam? For real this time?
Actually, yes.
Shrek Super Slam. I've said this once and I'll say it again. Shrek sure had good games back in the day. Some say this is basically a 3D version of Smash Bros. But I think the devs actually took inspiration from Power Stone. But we'll get to that later. The game takes place after the events of Shrek 2. Shrek and his friends visit Donkey.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Are they playing Pitfall? Shrek and Pitfall Harry for Smash 6 confirmed.
Wait, no, what am I doing? This joke is so old. What were we? Shrek and his friends visit Donkey but end up helping him putting the Dronkies to sleep by telling them bedtime stories.
Once upon a time, in a land far, far away.
The story mode, it's not that difficult. It's perfect for the players to get used to the controls.
That's gross. Let's draw.
In order to win a fight, you need to fill up your slam meter in the bottom of the screen by attacking the opponent with combos. Then when it's full, you press the slam button to perform a special move against the opponent to get a point. The player with more slam points wins the fight. But if you want to unlock more characters and stages, you need to play the Mega Challenges, which consist of a series of diverse tasks, such as tournaments, racing, platforming, and other surreal events. Some challenges are really fun to play, but most of them are very painful and impossible to complete. It almost makes it not worth the trouble. It's actually surprising how well the devs capture the essence, the humor, and charm of the Shrek series. There are even original characters that are not seen in the movies.
Black Knight!
He reminds me of Iron Knuckle from Ocarina of Time.
Anthrax!
That's a weird name for a unicorn.
Quasimodo!
He looks like the vocalist of Guitar Hero 3 mixed with Lanky Kong.
Humpty Dumpty!
He looks more threatening than the one from the movie.
Gino!
I almost forgot that he's in the game.
Luna!
Whoever decided that one of her attacks is her sneeze is pure evil. Heck, they even made up a song based on Fryer's Fat Boy. You know, the McDonald's parody in Shrek 2 that was only shown for like 20 seconds. Now that's dedication. While the game itself is not perfect, it is definitely worth revisiting, especially if you're a fan of the Shrek movies. This game is not meant for competitive gameplay. It is meant for having a good time with your friends.
10 seconds left!
Did Puss in Boots just disappear from the game? Oh well, there goes his 9th life. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Just because I'm not playing Switch games often doesn't mean I don't have favorites. Smash Ultimate is the 5th and probably the last entry of the Smash Bros. Series. It's a platform fighting series featuring characters from Nintendo games and a handful of third parties, such as Solid Snake from Metal Gear, Banjo and Kazooie, Steve from Minecraft, and Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Smash Ultimate also includes a new story mode. A mysterious deity of light called Galeem arrives to the world of Smash to capture the fighters and uses them to create puppets with spirits of other characters. And Kirby, as the only survivor, he embarks on a journey to save the fighters in the world of light. The spirits you collect in the game serve as power-ups which you can equip your character with. Not only that, you can send spirits on an expedition to grind for items and treasures in real time. You can even level up the fighters as if it was an RPG game. There aren't as many scenes or interactions between the characters as in Subspace Emissary from Brawl, but World of Light is still quite a unique experience. There are also a couple of modes with tools to customize your game. One is Stage Builder from Brawl, where you can create your very own original battlefield stage, either with simple platforms or with numerous hazards. The other one is the character creation from Smash 4. Here you can create an original fighter based on a Mii avatar, while also reminding you that your favorite character didn't make it to the roster. There are also a bunch of new modes to play like Squad Strike, but not everyone is playing that. Because nowadays everyone is playing online mode. In my opinion, this is the only thing that keeps the game alive. And ironically, the same reason I quit Smash a long time ago. Let me explain. You know you can manage the background music that plays in the stages, right? Well, for whatever reason, the director Sakurai thought it was a good idea to mix all tracks of the game in Battlefield and Final Destination. Not a big deal if it's just for fun with 3 or more players. But when it's a 1v1 battle, this completely ruins the mood and atmosphere. One other thing. When playing an online quick play, you can manage your preferred battle rules, and the game will try find a player with similar rules, which is pretty cool if you want a more competitive gameplay. But the preferred rules setting doesn't always work, and sometimes you end up in an unpleasant match. Then there are players who choose small battlefield, which is just battlefield but with only 2 platforms. This doesn't affect the rest of the stages, because it's a unique thing that players choose as their only stage of choice. Why do players do this? Don't they get bored of choosing the same stage? Okay, I know I'm sounding pessimistic, but hear me out. I really love Smash Bros. I really do. I've been playing it since the N64. The core gameplay is a whole lot better than the past entries, especially in 1v1 matches. Every time you play a match, it motivates you to improve your skills and be more competitive. Collecting spirits is a good way to know video games I've never even heard of. Watching the trailers of the new fighters was a very magical moment. I still remember when I jumped out of my bed when Simon Belmont was revealed. Same thing happened with Richter, because I accidentally predicted him in one of my old Smash videos. Smash Ultimate is the #1 game with the biggest selection of characters from different series. The perfect game for playing with friends and family. But when it comes to online multiplayer, it leaves a bittersweet taste in your mouth. Luckily, I don't have to worry about that with the #1 game. But first, let's see the honorable mentions. Bloody Roar 3, a fighting game series where the characters can turn into furries. Brawlhalla, basically Smash Bros. Without Nintendo characters. Clay Fighter 63 1/3. The game may not be that good, but you can't deny that the clay animation looks amazing. Dream Mix TV World Fighters. It came out for the GameCube a long time ago and still managed to predict 2 fighters in the Smash series. Injustice 2, PG-13 Mortal Kombat. Mace, The Dark Age. A mix of Soul Calibur characters with Mortal Kombat brutality. It aged poorly, but it's got potential for a remaster. Marvel Nemesis, Rise of the Imperfects. Despite being an imperfect game about imperfects, I'd still love to see a remake of this. Mortal Kombat Armageddon. In this one, you can create an original character and play as fighters you see in MK1. And it also includes the coolest MK racing minigame, Mortar Kombat. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. Smash Bros. With Nickelodeon characters. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Smash Bros. With PlayStation characters, and a few from third parties. Power Stone. A cool fighting game with 3D platforming. Apparently, this game was good enough to serve as inspiration for licensed fighting games. Rivals of Ether. Your favorite character didn't make it in Smash Ultimate? No worries. The Rivals of Ether Workshop got you covered. Tekken Tag Tournament 2. This one has the biggest roster of characters from the first 6 games. Watching the character endings is like watching a movie. X-Men vs. Street Fighter. The one that started the biggest crossover in history before Smash 64. Dragon Ball FighterZ. The definitive 2D fighting game for fans of the Dragon Ball series, even if the roster is a little disorganized.
You best not look down on the great Yamcha.
Yamcha! Win!
POV. You didn't get the 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, a number 7, 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large soda.
Yeah, that freight train that hit you, that was me.
Def Jam, Fight for New York. Talk about certified hood classic. Now this is what I call a fighting game. Def Jam is a fighting game series that features hip-hop artists and other celebrities. This one is the sequel of the first game, Vendetta. That one was more focused in traditional wrestling. But in this sequel, they literally break the boundaries and now it's an underground street fight. The story takes place right after the ending of the first game. D-Mob, played by Christopher Judge, is on his way to prison until a car crashed the patrol car and he gets saved by the new protagonist. Then the hero gets recruited in the team.
So, is this guy in or out?
He's in.
Well, if he stays, he's got to be able to carry his own weight. Can you fight?
I can take care of myself.
We gonna see about that.
And now you have to beat a lot of fighters and take over the clubs owned by Crow, played by Snoop Dogg.
What are you doing here, Crow?
Oh, you know, just thought I'd come by and see how my new club is doing. Just a matter of time before we take this place over.
You better watch your step.
Uh-oh, I think I offended him. Hey, let's bounce, fellas.
You start creating your character for the story by changing his height, body, hair, and even his voice. In the GameCube version, the hero only has the rough voice option, but in PS2 and Xbox, you have multiple voice options.
Is this the part? Listen to some of these voice prints.
Come on, man, let's bounce. 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 Come on, man, let's bounce.
After making up your character, then you can choose a fighting style. You can learn 2 new styles later on, as well as upgrading your stats at the same time. Unlike the traditional fighting games, you don't win by draining out the whole HP bar of the opponent. When their HP bar is in danger, you can finish them off with a strong attack depending on your fighting style. But you can also finish them with a blazing move. Or with with other hazards like a melee weapon, a hit on a wall,
It stops here!
a team grapple attack, assist from the audience,
Kill this!
or a stage fatality. Not your average fighting game now, huh? You can unlock most characters in the story, but the rest have to be purchased with points acquired from the multiplayer mode. You can play as your instructor Henry, the shop owners, the cops from the intro. Heck, you can even play as the freaking silhouette from the character creation.
You will be destroyed! You will be...
Jeez, even that gave me shivers. I don't want to tell much of the story because it contains some heavy spoilers. But just so you know, for being a game released in 2004, the story is much more engaging than the movies of today.
Crow thinks fear is power, but he's wrong. A beaten dog may fear you, but the second you turn your back, he's gonna strike. Real power comes from respect. That's what our code is all about. We win Crow's clubs, and he won't have a leg to stand on.
Sadly, I think this is the last good Def Jam game we'll ever get. The next game, Def Jam Icon, it's a bit of a downgrade. The game's animation is slower, the background is annoying, the characters don't look as iconic as they did in the last game. And instead of blazing moves, you move your hands like a DJ and wait for a drop beat. Although it is very funny seeing the characters flying. And the game after that is not even a fighting game, it's actually a karaoke game. What the heck? How did we get from street fighting to karaoke? However, there is a prequel of Fight for NY for the PSP called The Takeover, including a few new stages and grapple animations, as well as new ring outs. Not as fast as the original, but it's better than Def Jam Icon. This is why Def Jam Fight for New York is my #1 favorite fighting game of all time. Memorable characters, beautiful story, amazing fighting mechanics and customizations. That's how video games in general should be, made with passion and effort. It's not just about games with high graphics that look more like a freaking movie. Not saying that the fighting games of today are not fun, just saying that we really need to see a fighting game made with innovation. If you're wondering why can't they just make another Def Jam game, it's because there are 3 little problems. Licensing is not as simple as before. The publishers are a greedy corp that disguises their products as gambling machines. And the original creators of Fight for NY are now a fashion dress-up game development team. So yeah, at this point we should just give up for a new entry. Unless there's a new form of Def Jam just around the corner. Only time will tell. For now, let this be a lesson to always appreciate the present time and the memories you made playing games like Def Jam Fight for New York.